You have to wonder, what does it really take to reshape a nation? Well, sometimes it all starts with a single idea from a single citizen. In this explainer, we're diving into a really detailed proposal that was submitted to Viksit Bharat 2047. That's a government initiative basically crowdsourcing ideas for India's future by 2047. And this proposal, it offers a pretty bold and, you'll see, unconventional vision.
Okay, so let's jump right in. This is where it all begins. It's an email confirmation, basically proof that this idea was submitted. But it's way more than just a digital receipt, right? This is the exact moment one citizen's ideas officially entered the national conversation. And it's those ideas that we're going to unpack today.
So what is this grand vision for 2047 all about? Well, we're not talking about a small tweak here and there. This is a full-blown blueprint. The author has laid out this incredibly ambitious plan that's really designed to tackle some of the country's most stubborn challenges, like head-on. And it all starts with what they see as the root of the problem.
Before you can fix something, you have to agree on what's broken. So, what is the fundamental issue this author is trying to solve? In their mind, it all boils down to one single, powerful word: stagnation. A feeling that things have just stalled. And to prove their point, they highlight a very specific number.
And here it is. To really hammer the point home, the proposal brings up India's ranking in the 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index. Now, this isn't just a random statistic. It's presented as a major symptom of this much deeper problem of national stagnation.
And according to the author, this isn't some new issue. This quote right here suggests they see stagnation as this deep-rooted, long-term challenge. Something scholars have been pointing to for years as the main thing holding the country back. It's framed as more than just an economic problem. It's a societal one.
Okay, so if the problem is stagnation, where do you even start with the solutions? Well, the first major proposal is a really radical one, and it's aimed right at the heart of the education sector. It's called the RAISE system, and it's all about providing 24/7 learning support.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty. It's called the Raise and Response system. The core idea is to build this modern, cloud-based platform that gives students constant, round-the-clock support. And it does this by tapping into a huge and honestly mostly unused resource, the knowledge and experience of university alumni.
So here's how it would work in practice. It's designed to be super simple. Imagine a student is stuck on a problem, maybe it's 2 a.m. They just click a link on their university's website, and the system instantly finds and connects them with a graduate who's available and ready to help out. Just like that.
And these diagrams really help visualize it. On the left, you've got the gears of the machine, the students, the alumni, and the cloud technology that makes it all work together. Then on the right, you see the goal, this continuous, circular flow of knowledge, constantly moving between everyone involved.
So what are the supposed benefits here? Well, the author paints this as a classic win-win-win scenario. Students get help whenever they need it, alumni get a really meaningful way to give back, and the nation gets to tap into millions of hours of expertise that are currently just sitting there, all made possible by some clever tech.
But hold on, because the vision for change doesn't stop with education, not even close. The proposal then moves right into the heart of the civil service, suggesting some equally bold ideas for how the government hires people, and maybe even more importantly, how it pays them. Let's start with hiring.
Now, this is a really interesting one. The author proposes creating a whole new second pathway into a government job. So you'd still have the traditional super competitive exam route, but alongside it, there'd be an academic path that would let people with deep academic credentials, we're talking multiple master's degrees or a PhD, skip the written exam entirely. The goal is to attract a totally different kind of expertise.
All right, before we get to the next big idea, we need to quickly touch on an economic concept that the author uses to back it up. It's called the Gini coefficient. All it is a way to measure income inequality. A score of 0 means everyone has the same income, perfect equality. A score of 1 is perfect inequality. The author points out that India's coefficient has been rising, which signals a growing gap between rich and poor. Okay, so with that rising Gini coefficient as the backdrop, the proposal suggests a pretty radical overhaul of government pay. The idea is to tie all future government salaries directly to the country's per capita income, or PCI. This table shows how it would work, a tiered system where pay goes up with responsibility, but it's always anchored to what the average citizen is earning.
And if you thought that was unconventional, get this. The proposal suggests getting rid of cash salaries for government employees altogether. Yeah. Instead, they'd be paid with material checks and coupons that could be exchanged for specific goods and services. The stated goal? To streamline motivation and cut down on excessive consumption.
And after all of that, all the systems, the data, the radical policy ideas, the author wraps up their entire ambitious proposal with this powerful quote from Harriet Tubman. It's just a poignant reminder that behind every grand vision for the future, it all starts with a dream of one person.
And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? What we've looked at is just one citizen's blueprint, a single voice out of millions. But it leaves us with this final provocative thought to chew on. In the massive project of building a nation's future, what is the true power of these individual dreams and detailed ideas?